It's 6 o'clock, so I'll call this meeting to order. And we are planning to go into executive session, and we'll have a motion for that. And then we will return to our regularly scheduled meeting and go from there. But who'd like to make the motion?
Okay, I'll make the motion. I'll make the motion that we recess the regular meeting and enter executive session regarding the personnel matter as provided in Vermont Statute Title 1, Chapter 5, Subsection 2, 313A, Number 1. And no decisions will be made, and we'll ask Lee to join us.
Okay, so yeah, I know.
I'll second that.
You'll second that. Okay. And before we go into executive session, I just want to let anyone know who's on this meeting that I will put you into a breakout room. And then when we're done with executive session, I'll invite you back to the main room. So if you haven't ever been in a breakout room before,
That's exciting.
yeah, you'll have this as your first experience. So, and I need to assign this. Some people are still needing to be admitted. Okay. Okay, hold on. So Zeke, I believe your motion is not
we haven't
voted on yet. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so all those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we're going to enter executive session. And for you late comers, Paul, we're going to put you in a breakout room. I want you all to behave. And when we come back out of executive session, we'll all let you out of that room, provided you have not caused any trouble.
Okay, so going into the breakout room are Charlotte, Jean Newell, Jody Normando, Lori Frechette, Paul Normando, and Rich Melanson from BCTV.
I'd just like to say, I hope Jean is going to take Harold with her.
I think she will.
Okay, good.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, so we've just come out of executive session. There are no decisions or votes to come out of that. We're going to go on with the rest of our meeting as on the agenda. We have the minutes of December 30th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of December 30th.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have bills for payment. We have warrants 15 and 15P. What would you like to do?
I'll make a motion to approve bills for payment warrant 15 and 15P.
Second that.
Okay, any discussion? All right, warrant 15 was for $21,011.40. And that was going towards our quarterly payment to the Wyndham Solid Waste Management District. There were payroll transfers, dog license fees and marriage license fees were being sent to the state. And there was some Green Mountain Power and miscellaneous highway expenses. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
So hold on, Zeke, we've had another person join. So for the minutes, Maria, Susan Meggiolaro.
Nice work. Okay.
Great.
All right. Let's see. Well, this is recognition of visitors and public comments. If you have something that's on the agenda, then what we usually do is, wait and you can bring up your issues during that when we reach that agenda. If it's not on the agenda, then this is the time to bring whatever you want. And Charlotte's been waving her fingers around. So Charlotte.
I had asked, Terry and I had a conversation about joining the cloud, the NIMRIC cloud, and I had asked her to put that on the agenda if it was necessary for you all to discuss it. And I noticed today it didn't get on the agenda.
That was for the budget part of it?
No, that was just for us joining the cloud now. Because we're going to do it in this fiscal, not next fiscal year.
I don't know if we have to make a decision on that. I think it's up to you guys.
Okay.
What's
for me.
the sense of the board members?
I just was thinking if they had the money in the account, they could do it, then it's up to them how they do their computer line.
Okay.
That's what I was going to say. If you think that the computer expense in the budget is sufficient.
I think barring any, knock on wood disasters, we should be able to be fine with the extra fee for the cloud.
Sure. Great.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
That the sense of other members?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's
Yeah.
important to be informed. So Charlotte, we're
Yeah.
really glad that you gave us some background, and we did have a discussion about it previously, but I don't think that we need to approve anything.
Okay.
Great.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Who else would like to take the opportunity to? Okay. Everybody else is waiting for something on the agenda. Is that right? Great. Well, then we'll go ahead with the road foreman's report. And we have our road foreman with us. What's the update on the covered bridge? I know you have news for us.
Yes. So they did take out the broken parts, and today they started reconstructing it. And I'm not sure, I wasn't there at the end of the day to see how far they have got. But they originally only asked us for the 1 day of closure, and that was today. So if they are there tomorrow, I don't think it's going to be closed, but I can't guarantee that. But other than that, I think it's going all right. It's just a matter of it's going to take time.
Okay.
Further on the covered bridge, Lee, were you finished on the covered bridge? Lee,
What was that?
were you finished discussing the covered bridge?
Yeah, I'm all done.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to say that I talked with Mike Renault regarding the planking and whether or not what the condition of it was, whether it would need to be replaced and so forth. Mike is taking a look at it. He thinks maybe the eastern end of the planking may have some problems. The western end wouldn't. I mean, it's the dirt that comes off the road and onto the eastern part. He's going to take a look at it and see what if it would be possible, see how serious it is or not, and whether or not the planking can be reversed instead of being replaced. That is turned upside down. So he's going to let us know.
Great.
Okay. Yes, when he does that, we did go through and countersink. There was like 130 of the bolts that were showing. So we countersunk them deeper into the planking. It is, as far as expense is fine for right now. It's just a matter of, how long it's going to last and when we should be preparing to replace them, or like you say, switch end to end or something to that effect.
Okay. Great. Okay, so any other questions on the covered bridge? then we're ready for the annual certification of mileage, which is due on the 20th of February, if I'm reading that correctly. And we have a total of 79.155 miles. And I guess we have class 4, we have 3.03, and a legal trail, we have 1.6. And Lee, you're good with this report, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great. So if members are all set with this, we could have a motion to approve this certificate of highway mileage. And then we will send it on to the town clerk, whom then sends it on to the state.
So I
Did
will
we
move,
actually see this form?
what,
Was it
Maria?
sent around? Was this form sent around to us?
There was a link to it. So I just clicked on the link and that's what I saw.
Okay, I'd like to move that we approve the certificate of mileage for Dummerston as presented by Lee.
The other thing we could do, if everyone hasn't seen it, we could, because we have until February, we can, I'll just resend the email. Lori sent the email to us, I believe. And we can just redo that and just so everyone has a chance to actually look at it, if you prefer to do that.
It was sent to all of you on January 6th.
Oh, that was a good day.
Yeah.
So
Wasn't paying attention to
what
my
would you like to do?
emails.
Want to hold off, kick this can down the road, as we say in this portion of our program, or if you're ready to go?
I don't know, Maria, what do you think?
Whatever you got. I mean, I can just abstain. I don't think I have that email. I'm looking
Okay,
back.
let's, you know, we might be looking for something to do at our next meeting, and this would,
Okay,
fill in some.
Okay.
great. Zeke, can I ask a question about it though?
Sure.
So you said about 79 miles of
I
road.
said 79.155. I think I was
Okay.
really precise.
So I wanted to know whether that is dirt and paved roads?
It's state highway, class 3 roads, class 2 roads, and we don't have any class 1 roads.
Okay. So it's everything minus the class 4 roads, which is about 3 miles.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll put this on the agenda for next week, and we'll
Next meeting, not next week.
yes, okay. Thank you, Joan. All right, anything else for the road foreman's report?
Yeah, I just wanted to say the flooding on Christmas, we did end up getting all the roads fixed up from that. And right now, when it's not storming, we're cutting dead trees that are along the roads, and dead ash trees, the ones that we can get ourselves. And we're doing that in the Green Mountain Camp Hague Road, Camp Hardin Road area. And also we have some dead trees on Kipling Road we're going to be cutting. Other than that, I did have just a quick question on your thoughts. Ron, of course, works 23 hours a week. And he was just wondering if he gets a boot allowance, and what the select board has been doing for a boot allowance is $130 a year to buy a pair of steel-toed boots. And a lot of that came to effect with M. Shaw working in the gravel pit. You are required to wear steel-toed boots. And of course, with chainsaws, you are also.
Yeah, it's.
I don't think we've done it in the past. And it's not something, if you think, you know, we rather not, that's fine. He is not, you know, really concerned. He was just wondering if he could do that.
This is another case where I'd say you have your budget and, you know, you're the road foreman.
Right.
But
Well,
my-
I'd rather have him have good boots because of the type of work, and he's out there with us doing all of this type of work also. So, yeah, I will look at the budget and make sure on everything, and then I'll let him know.
What do other members want to
Yeah,
do?
I think, yes, I agree. with that. I agree.
That's fine.
I agree.
Okay, great. Okay.
All right.
then-
I believe that's it, Zeke.
Great. Thanks, Lee, for filling us in.
All right. Have a good night.
Yep, you
Good
too.
night, Lee.
Take care, Lee.
Yep. Bye.
So, under correspondence for information, is there anything you'd like to discuss? Is there anything the public would like to discuss there? Okay, then moving on, let's see.
Zeke,
Yes,
what's the letter from Comcast? I'm just curious because I'm not very happy with them.
well, it was a letter, let's see. Let's see, my recollection is just saying what a wonderful company they were and, you know, what a great asset to our community and, you know, thank goodness they've come into our lives. That's what I recall.
What's the
And that
truth
might
now,
not be,
Zeke?
I
you
think
know,
it was-
that's sort of my qualitative remembrance of it rather than a real quantitative analysis. But do other members recall that?
Well, they did send out a notice that there was a small increase in the rates.
Ah,
Oh, miss, yeah.
Uh,
how did I miss that?
Yeah, it was not a large one, but it was, you know, it was something.
Okay.
Like $1 for something, you know, an extra $1.
And then that they would be looking to expand in areas depending on the neighborhoods and who wanted to, you know, give money, that kind of thing.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yes, Core.
Yeah, hi. Oh, am I?
Yeah, you're on.
Okay, good. Hi, everybody. You were asking if anybody wanted to speak to anything on the correspondence agenda item, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, so you received a letter from me from Brattleboro Community Television. And with two things. One is that we've been offering towns that we could help with your pre-town meeting because, as you know, BCTV normally covers your town meeting day. And now with some towns deciding to hold town meeting by Australian ballot, BCTV is offering to help town administrators, town staff, select board members to host online pre-town meetings or informational sessions if that is something you'd like to do. So I wanted to answer any questions you might have about that.
So I have a question. I guess you mentioned in the letter that if there were going to be more than 100 people, there would be an extra charge.
Yes, in Zoom, if you're using your town's account, let's say, and you need to have, and more than 100 people want to attend, you have to add what's called a large meeting add-on.
Mhm.
And that's just a $50 charge one time a month, but you only have to pay it one time.
And so in your offer, Core, are you offering to host it using the town's account? Is that what you're offering?
we are willing to work with the town, like a team of people who maybe are set up to work on this project. And we can either host it on BCTV's account or help the town host it on their account. And as a co-host, what we would do, a host or co-host, either one, what we would do is offer to live stream the meeting to BCTV's cable channel 1085 on Comcast, and also on Facebook if you wanted that, if you wanted additional distribution. But we would work with the moderator or the select board chair, whoever was running the meeting, to arrange so that cameras are turned on and off in the same way the Brattleboro representative town meeting was run, where basically what you're seeing on screen is the person running the meeting and the person speaking, and maybe the board if they also want to be on. So we would be behind the scenes requesting that members who wanted to speak, residents who wanted to speak to an article, who raised their hand, would have their cameras turned on in the order that they are lined up to speak, or in the order that they're called on.
Yeah, that's great. I think the language for an information session is a little different than the language for a town meeting. People won't be speaking to an article. They
Right.
might be asking questions, clarification questions about a variety of things.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I go into rep town meeting mode and
Yeah,
it's hard
I
to
just
turn it
don't
off.
want to give anybody, false ideas.
Yeah, that's right. So we can get into the details. I just wanted to put it forward that the other thing in my letter was saying that BCTV for the past 2 years have been requesting funding support from towns because of the consumer trend of cord cutting, and also because our cable revenues are decreasing. Again, because people are now getting their information online rather than subscribing to cable. And so we had requested from Dummerston in the past, the rate, which was 85% per resident, was $1,500, and we had just increased the request $200 to a total of $1,700. And again, what the town gets from BCTV is coverage of select board meeting, coverage of town meeting day, public access services, which means any resident who wants to learn how to make their show or make their show at home and help get it on cable and on YouTube, we will do that for them. And also we cover a lot of school board meetings, as you know.
Yeah, great. Okay, so I guess we'll talk about, we have to set a new date for our informational meeting this evening, later this evening. And so maybe that will be part of what we discuss.
Okay, and so my email is there. If anybody wants to, when you get your plans, you can just reach out and we can see how we can help.
Yeah, we'll get back to you in expeditious fashion.
Okay, thanks, everybody.
Yeah, and Cor, just to thank you and BCTV for all you do. You're an amazing resource in our region. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Great to see everybody. Good night.
Okay, let's see. Moving on from correspondence for information, we go to new business, and oh, look at that. Reset the date for the town meeting informational budget Zoom meeting. So the informational meeting on the Australian ballot. Let's see, it has to be within 10 days of the Australian ballot. Let's see. Let's see, looking through the horoscope for that week, it looks like the 24th, February 24th, the moon will be in alignment and looks good for an informational meeting. I'm just not sure whether, starting at 6 or a little later. But how's Wednesday, the 24th sound?
I think that sounds really good. We can do our, quick meeting, because that's a regular select board meeting.
Yeah,
Maybe start the informational meeting at 6:30?
that sounds good to me. How's
Okay.
that sound to everybody else?
That sounds good to me.
Since we may be the people on the Zoom right now might be the only people at this meeting anyway, so we all good with that?
Yep.
Okay, so, all right, let's have a motion then.
I'll make a motion that we set the date for the town meeting informational budget on Zoom for February 24th at 6:30.
Second that.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, so that's our date. Do you want to talk over the nuts and bolts of doing that, or you want to do that at another meeting?
I think, well, we got everybody here that, like Lori and Charlotte and everybody, we might as well finish it up and
Right. And of course, we've got to check with Cindy Jerome, but I think this was an okay date for her. As the moderator.
I'll text her, Zeke, as we're talking. So let's go ahead and.
Sure it was.
Yeah.
What would you like to do? That sounded like to have BCTV sort of do the,
hosting.
Yeah, sort of cut to the, do the camera work, do the fade in and fade out, and
I think it would be a lot easier to do it that way because, I mean, not that we don't use computers, but they do it a lot more and, I think it goes smoother.
yeah. Hey, how about this for an idea? How about we let Geraldine get back in touch with Core and sort of work out these details?
I'd be happy to do that. I'd like to know if you had to guess how many people you might imagine at an information session. Is there any way to guess that?
Well, if everyone wants to, in here, would like to put $1 into the pot with their guess. This has always been, and Paul probably remembers, trying to figure out who is going to come to a special meeting. And the general wisdom, if there's any on this, is that if you plan for just a few people, then the place will be packed. And if you plan for it to be packed, then there'll just be a few people.
Yeah, I can't imagine that there are going to be, over 100 people.
Right.
But I can imagine there might be 25 or 30. And just in terms of what we've gone through tonight with a mix-up of links and people in the waiting room and needing to do a breakout room, and on my shoulders, I would not step forward to be the host, the sole host of the information session. I would want to have help and support. So is there a sense of whether we should do it on the town account, Lori, as opposed to on BCTV's account? Does it matter to you or the town for any particular reason?
It doesn't matter to me either way.
How many do we have on our town account that we can do up to? Do we know?
I think it's 45, isn't it, Charlotte?
I have no idea.
So we
I could
definitely
find out
have to
what-
up that up.
Yes, definitely we do.
Well, one of the things that I had to do tonight before the meeting was go into the settings and allow breakout rooms. Breakout rooms was not available until I went in and did that. And so, there might be other settings that need to be changed. Whereas if we used BCTV's account, they would have all those settings already set. So,
Right.
I can talk to Core about what that looks like.
Yeah, great idea. Everyone good with that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I'll talk to Core.
Yeah, and then we'll discuss it further at our next meeting.
Okay, great.
Great, good.
And I haven't heard back from Cindy yet about the date, but we'll see.
Okay, great. Let's see. We have next, discuss any proposed budget feedback, if any. Anyone like to address have comments on the budget that we've been posting so far? It's still a work in progress. Charlotte's with.
I just wanted to mention that currently our BCTV assessment is $1,200. I thought she said that it was going up to 1,700 or something like that. So you might want to check the letter that she sent.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's it. All I got.
Great. Okay, anyone else? Okay, moving on. We have received a letter with a request to put on the town meeting warning, an article to vote on whether to leave the school district and revert back to a town school board. So, anybody have any thoughts on that?
Christina, you're still in one piece.
So I don't have any problem putting that on the warning. You know, it'll be Australian ballot. People will, you know, there'll be a little box and they'll put yes or no. But we wouldn't actually approve that until we approve the rest of the warning. But we could probably get a sense tonight on whether we'd be putting that on. Any thoughts?
Is there anybody here that's against putting it on the town meeting warning?
Okay. What about that dog? Waiting for that dog to talk.
Hold on. Sorry. I had to go in the other room. Did I miss talking about adding the
It's a person.
Sorry. Is this about more dogs? Is this about adding the question about
Yes.
resolving the, yeah. So I'm just to let everyone know, I'm one of the 2 Dummerston reps on the Wyndham Southeast School District board. And I can say that we're doing a fantastic job as a board. I'm very happy with everyone that we have on the board, and but I think it's a great opportunity to do what we had voted on overwhelmingly. And it looks like we have a little bit of a window before Montpelier possibly writes some laws to stop giving us this opportunity. So I highly support it, even though I'm on the board. I'm very happy with the board and everyone who's on it. So if you have any questions from the board's point of view, feel free.
Jody Normando has some thoughts.
Okay, no, I just wanted to say the same thing pretty much as Thomas said, and Zeke, I thank you for being willing to put it on, because at our last vote, it was overwhelming.
It would be the board.
The board.
Would be
Thank the board. Because at that last vote, it was overwhelmingly of the people that voted, it was 83.8% voted not to merge. And we had a 32.8% of our total voting list voting. So it was quite a vote in Dummerston. So I'm really appreciative that you're willing to put it on. Is there any way that also at your pre-town meeting that we could have a few minutes to say something?
I think that would be important.
I don't know that we've ever been able to stop you from saying something. I've been trying for years now.
Yeah, I know you have, Zeke.
I'm just throwing in the towel.
And you mean you're going to resign and not having succeeded? I'm sorry.
I'm willing to be impeached here. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So the sense seems to be that we'd be willing to put this on, but we would approve it at, when we approve the other articles. Is that the sense I'm getting?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, great. Good. Let's see. Well, that brings us to, is there any other new business?
I do have just one question.
Okay, sure.
Do you have any idea when you'll be approving the warning and approving the budget?
Good question. I'm going to, let's see, Maria, what do you think?
We're still waiting on the county tax figure.
Well, in the past, we never waited to actually get that. It was estimated because they never gave it to us early enough to get the town report to print in time.
Yeah, hope springs eternal.
I did call and leave a message for Ann Patterson today, and she has not called me back. So I have no information on the county tax, but we did get it last year before we approved the budget.
Yeah,
But
I know the auditors and everyone would like to have this as soon as possible. But what is the statutory drop dead date for this?
The statutory drop dead date is February 20th, which is 10 days before town meeting.
Of course.
But with it being Australian ballot and an informational meeting on the scheduled for the 24th, I really think that would be cutting it close.
Oh, but it's got to be January because we've got to get it to the printers and the town report. So isn't that a January date or?
No, it's not a January date. There has to be available to voters by the 20th, but the select board and auditors and town office staff all have to work together to get it to the printer as quickly as possible.
Yeah, okay.
So there's no actual statutory deadline as to when you have to have the budget to us.
Been under the impression that there was a date in January.
Well, there is a date. The first day for me to post the town meeting warning is the 21st, which is next Thursday. And I have to post it by the 30th, which is the following Saturday.
All right, great. All right.
So Lori, if we set up we're gonna have another budget meeting on Friday.
Yeah.
And hopefully maybe we can finalize everything then. So if we had a special board meeting, say a week from tonight, is that plenty of time for you?
Yep.
Or is that cutting it too close with the 21st?
It's not cutting it too close. No.
Okay.
No, that should work.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Otherwise,
you.
I was going to say we'd certainly have it done by the 20th of
February.
No.
I don't want you to worry about that.
Yeah. And maybe, we'll get the county tax in the meantime. Who knows? You never know.
Sure. Which will come first, the groundhog or the county tax?
I'm not sure. How many phone calls do you want me to make?
Okay. Is there any other news? Oh, yes.
Zeke, I did hear from Cindy. The 24th does work for her. It's on her calendar.
I knew the stars were aligned.
Yeah, that's the 24th of February.
Great. Yes, February. Let's see. Any other new business? Oh, yes, Paul Normando.
Anybody come forward to run for select board?
Well, that's what we, Lori Frechette is shaking her head.
Nobody?
No one has submitted a consent of candidate yet.
So we're
I've been
going
told
back.
there's a politician in Washington who's going to be out of a job. Looking for some, another job, another gig. And
I don't think we want them in Dummerston.
Yeah. So anyway, Paul, to answer your question, it sounds like there is no one that has submitted. A form would need to be submitted by the 25th of January. Am I right, Lori?
Yes.
Lori would send anyone who's interested the form, and it needs to be submitted by January 25th. There will be 2 open seats, 1 2-year select board position and 1 3-year select board position. So anyone interested in running should contact Lori soon. And if those 2 seats remain open, then the Select Board as it stands after town meeting or after the town vote, the Select Board will be in a position of appointing people to fill those positions.
Thank you.
Oh, it's exciting. You know, if they gave out top hats and we could just do this week by week, I'd consider it again, but let's see, not to make a long meeting longer, but Jody Normanville, want to talk again?
Yes,
What the
please.
heck?
I just want to know, I'm assuming that I know that you and Geraldine are not going to run again. So has that been really made public so that people can know that there's opportunities? Because lots of times people
Yes,
won't run
yes.
against an incumbent, but they will
Right.
run if it's an open seat.
Right, right. Running against, you know, a war chest that I've amassed over the years from
Wow.
contributions and, but it has been pretty public. Later on tonight, I'm going to be appearing on the Tonight Show. It's one of the guests, and I'm going to reiterate that there are open seats.
Thank you, Jody. So Zeke and I did mention it at last year's town meeting. I have mentioned it in every Views of Dummerston article that I have submitted. I have contacted probably, between 75 and 100 residents of Dummerston individually. Most recently, I recontacted about 24 people. So, you know,
I
I've
think you
done
made the point.
everything I could to let people know that I wouldn't be running again.
Okay, great. Let's draw this meeting. I'm ready to adjourn this meeting. If everyone else is, or if the majority is.
Yes.
So I'll move.
Okay.
What?
I'll make a motion that we
Great.
adjourn the regular meeting.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Okay.
Aye.
Aye. All right, great. Thank you, everyone. And we're going to stay on for a budget work session.